Hi, I'm Sarosh, and I like chess. Oh, yes, that's how I'm gonna start this. I like chess. Here's my chess account. As you can see, I'm not the worst at it. I'm not particularly too good either. I've been playing recently. And I also like watching this guy. I really like watching this guy. I watch pretty much. Oh, hello. Um, I also watch this guy. And recently, I've started playing another game called Catan. This is Colonist. This is my Catan profile. This is what it looks like, kind of. It's that hexadecimal. I should, you know what? Let me just Catan. Yes. Yeah, there we go. This is Catan, and it's really fun. If you don't know the game, I'm not gonna teach you. That's not why I'm here. I'm here because I've also started watching a lot of Catan YouTubers. There's Dandy Drew. He's one of my favorite ones. There's also Phantom and Ellie. Delighted is also here. And these guys, I love these guys. They're not very well known. So if you wanna subscribe, that's do what you want to do. But now I'm here because I am also a computer scientist, and all these three things, they put me in a very unique position to be able to talk about this. Now the FEN notation, the Forsyth Edward notation, it's basically a string of characters that you can write, and they can define any possible chess position uh, in existence. Here, I will switch to this. Yes. So this is the way the FEN notation is written. These are the rules, and this is an example. So, uh, piece placement. Each rank. So these are your ranks. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are your ranks. Each rank is described starting with rank 8. So it starts at the top. Starting with rank 8 and ending with rank 1 with a slash between each one. So each of these slashes, they divide the different ranks. So this whole thing is the 8th rank. This whole thing is like the 7th rank up here, right? Okay, so each one. With each rank, the contents of the squares are described in order from A file to the H file. So the A file to the H file. So you can see the little like tiny letters at the bottom here. Yes. H file. Each file is identified by a single letter taken from the standard English names in algebraic notation. Okay, and it's identified by single. Oh, okay. So the pieces. These are the names for the pieces. The pawns are P's, knights are N's, bishops are B's, because knights cannot be K's, because what would the king be? The bishops are B's, rooks are R, queen is Q, and the king is K. White pieces are designated using uppercase letters, and black pieces use lowercase letters. I'm sorry for that's how it works. I mean, cause like why the black pieces gotta be lowercase, But that's how the notation was written. Anyway, so a set of one or more consecutive empty squares within a rank is denoted by a digit from 1 to 8, corresponding to the number of squares. So instead of writing like you could write like 0 for an empty square, right? Like, because that's nothing. But then you would need to do like 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 for 8 empty squares. And a lot of the squares on a chessboard are empty. So this wastes a lot of space. So instead of all these zeros, you can just write the number of squares starting from the left, from the A file, that are empty. So that's pretty neat, I think. From 1 to 8 corresponding to the number of squares. So far we have the pieces, their names, the way they're divided, the ranks, and then for empty squares, you just write the number of empty squares starting from the left. So far, so good. The active color, W, which means that white is to move. P would mean that black is to move. So at the end of all this configuration, like, you just write the configuration down, and that's literally the first rule. That's all it is. And then after that, there's the active player, the player whose move it is. The castling availability. If neither side has the ability to castle, this field uses the dash character, like no one can castle. Otherwise, this field contains one or more letters. K if white can castle king side, Q if white can castle queen side. Again, so lowercase, same thing with the black pieces. K small if black can castle king side, Q small if black can castle queen side. A situation that temporarily prevents castling does not prevent the use of this notation. So, for example, let's just play this out. Oh, sorry, wait to move. So I do this, and it's check, and then this. So let's say I what do I do? This, and then this. And what am I doing? Okay, sorry. Let's just do this and this. Oh, and this and this and this. Oh god, this is annoying. How does Gotham do this? Why am I playing a whole ass game? I don't know. I really don't know. Yes. So now, in this position, you can see that black can't castle queenside because the bishop covers that. But since he hasn't moved his king or his rooks yet, if the bishop were to move using this move or something, let's say he castles and like you do this, now he can castle again. So even though he can't castle queenside right now, you would still add it because he can potentially castle. Like this only accounts for the fact that the king or the rooks on that particular side have moved or not. So that's important, no? For me at least, because what I'm about to do. Okay, I haven't told you what I'm about to do, but just trust me, it's gonna be fun. And I'm sorry if I'm not looking at the camera because I'm using my phone and it's just one big black slab and I can't really see exactly where the camera is. So I'm sorry if I can't look at the camera. Anyway, so after that, en passant, the target square. This to me is the most annoying / tricky one because this is the square over which a pawn. Okay, let me just reset this. Why? What? No. Okay, yeah. So yes, this is a square over which a pawn has just passed. It's the en passant. You know en passant. If you don't know en passant, what are you doing here? I'll just explain it. So if I do this and then I do this and then this is the en passant. So even though the pawn like moved two squares and like they're parallel, usually pawns capture diagonally. But like if it's the first time it's moving and it moves two squares, you can capture it and just pretend it meant here. That's essentially it. Anyway, so if there is no en passant target square, this field uses the dash character. So what it basically would do is it would store the name of this square. Yeah, this is a square over which a pawn is just passed while moving two squares. It is given in algebraic notation. If the B6, it would be B6. But if there is no en passant target square, like if you can't en passant, if it's just this position, then it's just gonna be a dash. But if it's like this, it's gonna say B6 over here. Okay. So the field uses a back character. This is recorded regardless of whether there is a pawn in the position to capture en passant. To me, that is annoying because here. Oh no, that's actually smart. Because I was thinking, okay, here's what I was thinking. I was thinking that if you do this, and then if you do this, and now if en passant is possible, you store like the target square, right? Like, this is where the pawn can capture. But that's not the only case it stores that. So if I do this, it's going to store that, even if there's no pawn here to capture or not. I don't know why, but it's going to do that. Like that. Okay, yeah, it doesn't make sense. No, I was right the first time. It doesn't make sense. An updated version of the spec has since made it so that the target square is recorded only if a legal en passant capture is possible, but the old version of the standard is most commonly used. Okay, they updated it. But here's my question. So if you were moving this pawn, you would store this square, right? Which is fair. So if I had like and oh no, not that, go back, and then if he had this, and then he does this, then this is the square that's... Oh, so the pawn that can be captured is stored, so you can do it both ways. Okay. I'm sorry, I was wrong. What I was thinking was, oh, what if it's something like this, where it's like, oh no, not that. Where it's like, oh god damn it, where it's like this. And what if I do this? Now I can capture this one, but I can't capture that one. But the FEN notation was gonna be like, no, you can't. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry. So it does the smart thing. The pawn that moves, it's like, okay, this pawn theoretically can be captured on this square, and that's all that's stored there. That's smart. Okay, I was gonna make it a whole thing about correcting it, but yeah, this works. The half move clock. The number of half moves so what are half moves? Let me show you. This is a half move. This is a full move. This is the third half move, and this is the second full move, right? So this is 2 full moves and 4 half moves. So every time one person makes a move, that's a half move. Every time a set of players make a move, it's the full move. Yes, that's the half move clock. The number of half moves since the last capture or pawn advance used for the 50 move rule for drawing. And a full move number, the number of full moves that has occurred since the last okay, so this is the number of full moves so far in the whole game. This is the number of half moves since the last capture. So this one resets every now and then. It starts at 1 and is incremented after black's move. So this is the half move clock. This is the full move clock. This one. This is the en passant check. This is castling. This is whose turn it is. And this is the rest of the board. Now, how long did I spend? Some number of minutes. Why did I spend some number of minutes explaining to you all this? Well, it has to do with the other thing. With this thing. So I watched this Standy Drew game recently where he here, I'm gonna play it for you. I'm gonna pause it. Mute it. Now this no, this is not Catan Pro. I'm sorry. Let me just... Yes. Okay. Quran breakdown stuff. No weird board rank. Please. No. Mastery. Yes. Hopefully. Muted. Okay. I hope you guys can hear me properly. Okay. Yeah. So he's judging someone else's game, hopefully. And what he's doing is he recorded the whole game. It's either his or someone else's, I don't know. But he recorded the whole game, and now he's playing the video like I'm playing the video, and he's reacting to it, explaining the whole thing. And here's a normal Gotham game review. Don't pay attention to that. Here's a Gotham game. Now, what Gotham does is he does similar things. He reacts to games played by other people, sometimes as subscribers, sometimes other grandmasters, but he doesn't have to record a video of them playing the game for him to be able to comment on them, and it's really inefficient to me. So what I want to do is I want to be able to create something like the FEN notation for Catan, and I understand that because to me I think it's going to be more challenging, But it's not going to be necessarily impossible, because here, let me show you a Catan board. Now, what does a chessboard have? Let's do that. Okay, let's just open this, but just Catan board. Yes, let's just do this here. Yeah. So this is a Catan board. Oh, god damn it, I don't wanna. Just, can it ever be easy? Oh my god, no. How do I do? Okay, you know what? Let's just work with that. I'll do something next time. But here's a Catan board. Here's a chessboard. Now, the configuration is somewhat similar. There are tiles. They're not numbered, but we can create a standard for them. We can have 3, 4, 5, 4, 3. These can, and instead of files, we just like 1, 2, 3. We can just number them. And it's kind of similar because you have tiles, and on each tile there are two things. There's a number. This could be 0. There's actually 0 and 1 both aren't used because Catan uses dice rolls and it uses 2 dice, so you can only have from 2 to 12. So 0 and 1 are both available for us to use. So yeah, each tile has a number associated with it and a resource type. So we can easily create something similar to what we had over here. Let me just add this to here and here. So we had this for the chessboard. Just yes, we had this one chessboard. So we can create something pretty similar, I think. No? So for the different ranks, we can divide them by slash. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ranks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ranks. So we have 5 ranks. So how do we want to define them? We can, just put in the numbers. So we have, so the annoying thing kind of here is that 10 is a 2-digit number. So like if you write 10, we know zeros don't exist. We know one doesn't exist. So we can safely say that, this is 10, right? Or we can do, like, even if you go up to 12, we know that 2 exists, but 1 can't exist. So 12, it must be 12. But the thing is, like, if you try to program that, you have to like add a lot more conditions. You have to check if the second, like if this is a 1 or a 0, and if it's a 0, if there's something behind it, and if the thing behind it is a 1 or not. Like it becomes more annoying to check everything. So the easiest thing to do there would be to just use ASCII. ASCII is a standard data encoding format, and each ASCII character can be defined using hexadecimal values. And what is hexadecimal? It's a numbering system with base 16. So you can have up to 16 numbers, and they're all represented with a single character. So from 0 to 9, you have 0 to 9. And from 10 to 15, you have A to F. So we can use that. So let's try doing, so I can't see some of the numbers on this board. Is there a different board we can maybe try? Let's try something that's visible. Okay, this seems visible. Okay, let's try this. So we have 4, 6. Well, we don't need spaces. 6, 9. Okay, and then slash. And then I'm gonna guess that's a 2. So we have 2, 5, 12, which is C. 4, and then slash, and 9. The dot's on the bottom, right? Yes. 9, 8, 0. We can use 0. 8, 10, which is A. 12 was C, right? Yeah. 10 was C. 3. Okay, so yeah, that's a slash, and then 3, 5, 10, which is A. 11, which is B. And then 3, 6, and 11, which is B again, right? Yep. Okay. There we go. So those are all the numbers mapped, and didn't take us too long, and it's very similar to chess. But there is a problem. See, each of these different positions, these different places, they have a resource attached to them. They're not just empty, they don't have just numbers. They also have like different kinds of resources. So in Catan, let's just Catan FEN. Okay, wait. It's not gonna be the Catan for whatever notation. Let's call it something fun. Let's call it the Soros notation. The SN? SN? Yeah, SN doesn't sound so fun, but the skin notation. Because my last name is Soros Christian. So can we call it the SKN or the skin notation? I like the sound of that. The skin notation. Or we can do the nicer thing. Where's the? Yes, we can do the nicer thing where. So this guy Edwards, he used Forets notation, right? So he added their names together because he was trying to use them for computers. Like that's how it went. So I should technically just add my name to the list, right? Just this feels wrong. Wait, where's the? Yeah, let's just do this. And yep. So not skin, the Catan. Oh my god. Yeah, Catan. Forsyth Edwards Christian or the FEK notation, the FEKen. Or the Soros, the FES notation. Oh, I like the sound of that. The FES, the FEK, the fuck, the FEK notation. Yeah. Let's do that. The FEK notation. Yep. And the FEN notation, that's kind of redundant, right? So this kind of solves that too. FEK notation. There we go. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so far so good. We had this example board. So we need to add resources, and in Catan there's actually 4 resources. So we have wood, sheep, brick. Oh, that's 5 resources. I'm sorry. There's wood, sheep, brick, wheat, and ore. Now I don't remember what the official resource names in Catan are because I don't know what Klaus Tuber called them. Players build by spending resources: wool, grain, lumber, brick, and ore. Okay, let's see which one's better. So for each of these, let's just assume we're going to use their first letter. So we have W, S, B, W. Oh, there's 2 W's. That's not good. So we have W, G, L, B, O. Yeah, okay. Okay, the original works better. So instead of wood, we have wool. Someone's going to confuse that. God damn it. Okay, let's just keep it wood then. Like, wood. Let's combine the two. We're combining names for notations. Notation names. We can combine this too. Rest in peace, Klaus Tuber. No, I'm sorry, but like this, it's gonna be hard, to understand. I want to make it understandable. Okay. Yeah. So we have wood. That's fine. Grain for wheat. Okay. I'm willing to compromise on that. Grain. Lumber. Yeah, no, we're keeping wood. And for wool, sheep is fine. For brick, brick is brick, and ore is ore. Okay, let's just use these, because why not? So after we put the numbers down, we follow that directly with the resource. So for every tile, we have 2 letters representing each tile, regardless of what tile it is. And that's always going to be the case. So, okay, that's easy enough. Let's just add them. For wood. Oh, no, sorry. It's 4 grain. 4 grain. 6 wood. 9 grain. 2, that's brick, right? Brick. 5 wood. C, which is 12, sheep. And 4 sheep. And then we have the 9 sheep and the 8 brick and the desert. So let's call, okay, so since there's 0, we already know it's the desert. But since we're doing 2 letters per tile, it's just easier to have, or if you're parsing, if we read a 0, then it's the desert. We don't need to do much more than that. But just for the sake of consistency and programming it will be easier. Just trust me on this. It's easier if you have intervals of 2 instead of once where there's 1. It's just gonna be annoying. Or we can do a space if you want, but we can do a space actually. Yeah, let's do a space for the desert. Yes, desert is an empty space. Hey, that works. I like that. I don't mind that. Okay, and it helps with the formatting a little bit. And the 8 ore and the 10 sheep and the 3 wood and the 5 ore and the 10 brick and the the brick and the 12. Is that gonna be a problem? Or no, the 11 is the B. That shouldn't be a problem because a B in the first letter means the number, which is 11, and a B in the second slot or the second position per tile, it means brick. So it should be fine. And the 11 wood. Yes. And we have the 3 grain and the 6 grain and 11 ore. So right now we have completely identified every tile and every resource on the board. Perfect. Now, before we get to the settlements and the player positions, which is, I believe it's going to get really tricky. Let's end for today with the ports. Let's just do the ports for now because I'm kind of getting tired, and I will need to figure out a way to do this efficiently with the player settlements and cities. I forgot to account for those. I'm gonna be honest. So let's just do the ports and then we'll call it a day. And yeah. So for every Catan board that I could find, you have these little cutouts, little cardboard cutouts that you put together when you're putting together the board. And every cutout has about either 1 port or 2 ports. And if it has 2 ports, it has 1 on the left and 1 to the right. And if it has just 1 port, it's in the middle. So and they alternate. So this is going to be 2, this is going to be 1, this is going to be 2, this is going to be 1. If you can see the little cutout thingies, right? Like here. I don't know if I can find any better. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no. That's a completely different thing. Here, I think this might have it better. Yep, it has better visuals. But we were using that one, so let's just continue that because I don't want to write a whole nother board. Where did it go? Oh, is it this one? Let's just pretend it's this one. Yes. Okay, so we have 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Like that's the pattern it goes. And the top right is always the top right, the tile on the top. Oh, sorry, the top left. The top left tile is always a port. And you can see that in any iteration, it's always on the top left, it's always on the top left. And yeah, like, and even if it's not, even if like it's not on the top left here, like yeah, no, it's still on the top left. Yeah, so if it's like turned around the board, I just imagine this rotating. I don't know, I can rotate this. We can always, in the notation at least, like, because even in chess, like the bottom left square is always dark, you know, it's always a dark square. So there is some standardization in the board. Like if you turn the board around, like it's gonna have a white square here, like if you rotate it, so that's gonna mess things up. You don't want to do that. So there is some form of standardization, and we're gonna just assume that for the Catan board as well, that the top left is always going to be a port, because you know that's how most that's how the right version of the board looks like, with the top left having a port. We can even check colonist, I think. It's colonist. Let's just, I don't want to start a game and then like leave it or something. No, don't. Yeah, and it doesn't let you. Just trust me on this. Just trust me on this. The top left is a port. Okay, so how do we start representing them? We know that the first rank, this one, is going to have 2 ports. And then we know the second rank is going to have 1 port here and 1 port there. And the third rank has 1 port here. The fourth rank has 2 ports. And the fifth rank also has 2 ports. So it goes 2, 2, 1, 2, and 2. So 2, 2, just 1 for this one, and it's on the right. And here it's the 2. So we know always where the ports are gonna be. We just don't know what they're gonna be. So let's just add here, and sorry, ports. So for a 3-to-1 port, we can have just 3. For a wood port, we can have wood. For a sheep port, we can have sheep. For a brick port, we can have brick. For a grain port, we can have grain. For an ore port, we can have ore. Oh, that works. So now we're adding a third letter to each tile, which is the port information. But it's not going to be for every tile, because not every tile has a port. So the ports are going to actually be for the whole ranks that we defined here. Now, the ports are always at the end of the edges of the board, which means that they're always going to be at the ends, and there's only ever a maximum of 2 ports per rank, so there's never going to be 3 ports in any rank. So what we can do is we can assign the ends of these lines, these like one before, one at the start and one at the end, for port information. We can reserve these spaces for ports. And since our third rank is always going to have a port at the very end, we don't even need to consider ourselves. So we can have a port here, 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 and port here. So that's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ports. So let's try add them. In the top left here, we have 3, 4, 1. So we just do 3. Oh. Yeah. No. When you're parsing it, the parser is gonna be annoying to make. So we're gonna do the parser some other time. This is So we're gonna add 3 here for the port, and this looks like I think it looks like a sheep port. So we're just gonna pretend that that's a sheep port and just put an S here. And then for the second rank, we're gonna put an OR here, and at the very end, we're gonna put a 3 for 1, 3 for 1, and here at the end, we put another 3 for 1, And here is a wheat port, so a grain for that, and a brick at the end, and a 3-for-1. And to end it all, we have what are you? What's left? We did a 3-for-1. We did a sheep port. We did an ore port. We did a 3-for-1, and then we did another 3-for-1. We have grain and brick. So we did grain, brick, sheep, ore. Wood? It's a wood port? Oh, why does no hashes, please. Starts with 3. Okay, yeah. Oh, so yeah, 3. And then a wood port. So wood. Okay, perfect. That's actually kind of cool. So right now, this can be used to define any Catan board that doesn't have any Catan board that doesn't have the placements, like the cities and the roads and the settlements from the players. Like this, the initial state of any possible Catan board will be one of these. Can be represented using this. Okay, I think that's it for today. Oh my god. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I was live streaming on Twitch this entire time. I don't know if you know that. I don't think you care personally. But if you want to, next time follow along, you can do that at where can you do that? At twitch.tv/047. I'm gonna add it in the description of the YouTube video. But yeah, that was the first episode of trying to make the standard notation for a Catan board. Next time we're gonna do the placements, the settlements, the cities, and the roads, and we're gonna try to figure out how to work that out. Oh, it's gonna be annoying, isn't it? Yeah. And then after that, we're gonna look at some special rules. Here, let me show you some of the special rules that we can have. So if I'm trying to play like a game, play a game of Catan, I can have a private game. That doesn't matter. No trolls. That's it's okay. I can these are things you can set later when you're loading the game, the friendly robber. But here, max number of players. I think this also you can set, the notation isn't supposed to store the game, the whole game, right? Like I'm not trying to make like a thing that Dandy can use to review games. Not yet. That is the plan. That is the final thing that I want to accomplish from all of this. But I'm starting with the standard notation that can define any board state, right? I don't think the points to win should matter in that state. The discard limit shouldn't matter either. But the cards the players have, the specific cards they have, and the night status and the current longest road and everyone's longest roads, those are the things that we need to add in the next time we do this. So I don't know when the next time is gonna be, but I am excited, and we haven't even started coding yet. I had a whole thing set up for starting to code and everything, that we never got to that. But yeah, I am excited, and if anyone watching is excited, then that would be a really good plus to have with this. So yeah, I'll see you next time.